So we're in Cascais. I'm going to call it that. We're 10 miles away from Lisbon, and we have. This is incredible. Okay, first off, let me just say this: the water temperature is 62 degrees. Take it easy. Oh my God, that's so funny. Cascais is one of Europe's most prized seaside destinations. Apparently, even with the cold water, it has light winds in the bay. When you get out off the Portugal coast, the summer winds coming out of the north are just wicked as they can be. So there's always a breeze, and it makes it perfect for all these little sailboats. They rent them by the day or by the hour, and it's just very entertaining to watch all these people learn to sail, and it's enjoyable to just sit there for the day and just watch people navigate around the bay. The marina at Cascais is very expensive. I think they wanted 150 euros for one night in the marina. So most sailboats just anchor in the bay, and they don't seem to have a problem with that. They even let us take our dinghy to the marina and park it on the inside of the fuel dock in order to travel into town. Now, a lot of marinas will charge you for that service, but here it was free. The Cascais is really the home of the rich and famous for Portugal and a lot of Europe. And as we get into, there's more. There's an example of all the sailboats coming in, and they're just anchoring in the bay pretty much wherever you feel like it. You got to stay a certain distance off the beach, but you don't have to pay to stay here, which is great. Let's see, there are three major beaches. Actually, I counted 5, but I guess a couple of them kind of run together. Thousands of people on those beaches every single day. It's incredible. Paddle boards of every size and configuration. Those blue blow-up deals on the right-hand side of the screen there, that's like a water park that you can swim out to, and it's got trampolines and slides, and it's all a kind of an inflatable water park there that's free to use. The hotels that you see are overlooking the bay, and they, from all the reviews I've read, they are just the creme de la creme. Hotels, the food, and everything is real extravagant. This fishing pier is part of the history of Cascais, because it really started as just a small fishing village, in around the time of Christ, and that's its roots, and it's still very much a fishing village. There's a lot of fishermen and fishing equipment, which you'll see here in a little bit after you go past this probably the smallest beach. This is the beach that's closest to downtown Cascais. And we always observed a lot of really white-skinned Europeans that didn't look like they had ever seen the sun. Out there just getting fried every single day. It was actually quite hilarious to watch. But we're getting into the fishing village portion. This is where a lot of the little fishing boats, and it's amazing the Europeans use these little fishing boats, and I mean, they go fishing. This is how they do it. You know, back in the whaling days, the whaling boats weren't much bigger than this. How on earth they would go out there and kill a whale with little boats and drag that whale in and cut it up? We went through a whaling museum. I don't think it was at Cascais, but we went through this whaling museum, and it was actually quite incredible what they could accomplish with those little boats. Anyway, a little more history on the town. During World War II, Portugal was neutral in the war, and Spain acted as a buffer between Nazi Germany and Portugal. And Spain was they were also neutral, but they were more on the Nazi side of things. So Portugal and Spain did not allow the United States or any of its allies to use their land to cross in to Europe. So it was just kind of a neutral buffer, but a lot of deposed European leaders came to Cascais during World War II, and especially after World War II. The people of Barcelona, the people of Bulgaria, the royalty came from all over. I can't remember all of the ones, but anyway, they built these little castles, and the royalty came here in 1946-47. After the war, they were on the German side, and they would build these castles. They're actually quite stunning. They're dotted all over the land, and we enjoyed viewing them from the water. Very interesting. We didn't take the time to actually tour any of these castles, but I'm sure later in our travels through Europe we will get plenty of opportunity to tour castles. That's nice. This is the International Sailing Federation on Cascais. Now we know how to say it, Cascais. And this is their fort on the what side of the? So this is the west. This is the west end of the fort. West end of the port fort. Try to say that 10 times. West end of the port fort. This is such a serious shortcut to town. You see the tunnel we just walked through. Municipal building. What they do, they take these old forts, and instead of preserving them in their original condition like they do in the United States, they use the property. They build a new building on top of the old fort, and in this case it's a municipal building, but at one island we saw where they had put a hotel on top of the old fort. But this is the fort that used to protect the port. I think this is not a good place to park your car, okay? Because if a volcano erupts, your car might get a little crusty. Now,
I think it's just a bad paint job.
This is a petrified car. real good tires. Look at that. Are they real? I don't know. I think they are real. Weird. Another interesting thing about Cascais, as we walk down some of the side streets and look at the all the beautiful stonework, both on the ground and on the property. The overall condition of many places is just amazing. This window to the right is the original foundation for the church at the Citadel, and so they preserve that as an exposed piece of foundation. Something a lot of people don't know about Cascais is that it is the home of James Bond, the 007. We didn't get to spend any time. There's one hotel where a lot of filming was done here in Cascais for the James Bond series. It's a casino that's up kind of on a hill on the backside of town. We drove by it when we were on our way to on a tour, but we didn't actually get to do that. You can take the James Bond tour. Apparently the author of the James Bond series lived here during World War II, and there were 2 hotels, actually I think 3 of them, where all the Nazi spies and all the American spies and the British spies, they were in different hotels in Cascais, because this was the only area that apparently you could go to, and this was the home of the spies. And there were, at one time, they counted over 6,000 spies for different countries here, living here and trying to gather intel on the enemy. And the author of the James Bond series was here at the time and observed the goings on, and that spawned the books, which spawned the movies. And like I say, you can take the James Bond tour, and it'll show you all the special little places and connect the dots with some of the early movies and things like that. But it was all based right here in Cascais. And in Portuguese, the I in Cascais is actually an E, which is a lot like the Spanish. The I is turned into an E, so people might be tempted to say Cascais or Cascais, but it's Cascais. The I is pronounced an E. Beautiful parks. We really enjoyed our time, and look forward to a day when maybe we can go back here again. Awesome place.
It is sunset officially now.